What's up, my boy? Greetings and all that jazz. It is week 39, and we out here. Merriam-Webster's word of the day is finicky, and that is someone that is very hard to please. So, of course, do with that information what you will. We always start with the working out. This last week, I know I got a spin in. I don't remember no reps. Last week was hectic. No excuses. Never making excuses. But if we're going to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. What was going on? So, again, no excuses for why I didn't spend way more, because I dang sure played 2K almost every day. So, just didn't prioritize it. I am more active and getting up and moving around versus just sitting the whole time while I'm playing. I get up, do some steps, squats, and I'm working on being consistently doing, no matter whether it's a short 1-on-1 game, 2-on-2 game, 3-on-3 game, or 5-on-5, doing 5 push-ups between each game. So if I'm playing this game for multiple hours, because sometimes I got better things to do with my time, at least, like I say, get some squats in and some push-ups. By the time it's over, I maybe done did between 50 and 100, That's not bad for a game session, a good trade. And like I said, I just got to consistently more spin. Now, I will say, and that's still on me or whatever, that dang sauna suit, that thing had got the last time I had used it, and I didn't rinse it right after, that mug was smelly. So I'm not putting that back on. No excuse. You still can get on the bike with or without the suit on or whatever. Yes, it makes you sweat more, but still, if it ain't clean, it ain't clean. Get your butt on this bike. Stop making excuses. So, like I said, working on that. I did spend this morning. Last night. I spent last night while I was playing. So, I know what will help. I got to do this. This is on pretty up there on my priority list. Getting those either padded shorts, or I might not have to get the shorts. I might be better off just getting a bike seat, because again, I'm not going anywhere. I'm doing this at home. You know what I mean? So I might just try another bike cushion, and that will make me want to do it more, because it's really just, man, that don't be feeling right. I be in pain getting up off of that bike after riding for, especially if I do 2 rec games or whatever, 5-on-5 games, that could be an hour. An hour on that bike hurt. So, whatever. That's that. Work was work. Like I said, they've been giving me more. Sunday's been busier than others. I know what's today. Today's Wednesday. I'm actually recording on Wednesday because I recorded 38 last night. So I'm getting back on track or whatever. But they'll send work, but like I said, I could do it relatively fast or whatever. I'm not complaining at all. I appreciate it. And as long as tomorrow and every Thursday or whatever they're supposed to, the check hitting clear, you can give me as much of those little work as you want during that, 40 hours you got. So, that was that or whatever. Like I say, work has been cool. They haven't thrown anything new at me, and nobody's had any complaints. The OPs that I work with, which are onboarding partners, have been very pleased with my work and the turnaround time that I'm getting things back. How long I've been there now? I started July 20, September. A little over 2 months. I'm not sure how much longer the worker I came to, be a buffer between that went on leave has, but that's playing in the back of my mind. Again, the last contract I had got cut short. Hoping this one does it. If it does, we all right. We're gonna make it either way, I promise. So that was that. Like I said, as far as work goes, oh my God. So, sort of off topic, but not really, because I only know because of work. It's a dang on Spanish restaurant down there. There might be the best Spanish food I ever had. Now, I don't eat meat no more, so I can't, speak on whether they got birria tacos or the chicken, steak, barbacoa, none of that. I can't tell you nothing about the meat. But that veggie quesadilla was a beautiful thing. And they have easily the best queso and salsa I ever had. On Fridays, even if I don't get a full meal, I'll go just to get, and I don't need that chips. They give me the chips, cool, but just give me the salsa, and I like queso. It's cheese. Cheese is delicious. The queso is good. It's one of the best quesos I've ever had. I don't know what their recipe is, but they actually like, it's seasons in there. Now, again, I would say I can cook. I can follow a recipe, but I can't be like, oh, this needs time, or see, I don't know seasons by their taste. You know, I ain't in the kitchen like that. I got other things to do with my time. My food gonna be straight. I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I eat, my kids eat, and like I wouldn't say that I can remember taste wise. Now I done messed up some textures for sure. I ain't do that right. But taste wise, I ain't made anything like taste wise where it was like I overdid something. If anything, I made under season, so it's bland. But of course, if I under season, I just add more. You know, so whatever. But getting on topic, yeah, I'll be looking forward to Fridays just to walk over there and get their chips and sauce. So then I ate at this other spot called Spice. Ha! You know what I mean? You know, I'm half African, baby. So bring the spice on. Hold on the spice. So I went there and hadn't never been. And so I asked the lady, I was like, I ain't been here before, whatever. This place is, it's called Spice. And I see the spice levels. What they're hitting for. Young lady of a different, ethnic persuasion. And she like, if you ain't had it, I'd go like one. And I'm like, okay, again, we have two different ethnic persuasions. So you might eat one, but I'm going at least three, Again, I got the motherland in me. We all right. Yeah, nah, I'm unseasoned when it comes to spice. Y'all can keep that, because if that's a 3, and that was that high, I ain't drunk that much eating something spicy since I was a little kid. So if that's that high, and it's a 3, and there's 2 more levels after this, good God Almighty. I don't know exactly what you're supposed to, take they be saying milk. I'm not eating hot stuff with milk. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. That sounds gonna mess up my stomach more than it's already gonna be messed up from the hot stuff. So now I would be good on that. But that 5, nah, I'm all right, baby. Y'all can have that. So that was that. Like I said, this last week, man, it's been kind of hectic or whatever. So jobs in the last week, what did I have? Like I said, today it's Wednesday. So last Wednesday to this Tuesday. Last Wednesday, we had I helped out one of my homegirl husband. He does this and been doing it. Like I spoke about him before, Uncle Phil. He been doing this longer than me for more years. Like before I started putting up TVs. The TV, I think 3, my room, living room, loft, and my brother's room. 4 of the TVs in my house that are up on the walls, he put up, because I just wasn't confident in doing it then. But now, I get freaky with it. Like I do my thing. So, but like I said, he's expanded. He don't even do like assembly and small stuff. He be doing big jobs and a lot of mountain stuff. So he hit me up and was like, yo, can you help? I was like, for sure, I got you. And he's like, yeah, I needed help the other day, but you be multitasking. I'm like, man, I can lock in. I know what I'm doing now. We straight. So we had like an all day job or whatever. TVs. And it was good that I came with them, because this job was a big job. Put up, how many TVs was it? The one in the living room. Put up the one in the living room. Put up the one in the room. Took the first one in the living room down. We were gonna do some more stuff upstairs, another TV upstairs, but there wasn't an outlet, and I guess they didn't want to run the drop cord or whatever. We tried to move a couch into this room, but it couldn't clear the doorway. So we was working. Then had to go to another house and put up a TV hanging from the ceiling. I was like, yeah, this dude, he like that, because I ain't got no ladder. And this wasn't like, no, this was like, I think probably 15 feet in the air. Like a basketball court could have fit in here, and the top of the backboard would have cleared. So however high that is, the rim 10 feet, and the backboard extended at least 3 to 4 feet over that. So we put in a TV hanging from the ceiling that high, whatever. So I helped him with that. But at the first house we was working at, they ended up having like 8 tables that needed to be assembled or whatever. And again, it was good I was there, because that would have added, I say, at least an hour to did it take? Yeah, I say maybe an hour, depending on how fast you're moving, between 45 minutes and an hour and a half, right? Cool. So I think I spoke about this before, because I went back deep in South Carolina or whatever last week, the week of my oldest birthday or whatever, that Sunday. And again, I done did a lot of like TV stands or whatever. And when I first started, like I said, I know that very first one I did for the client who was the one that told me how little money I was making using the first app I was using or whatever. I think that took me like 4 hours. And it's crazy because he had something to do. Like, he wasn't tripping, but he was like, yeah, I thought you'd be done by now. Because the first app I used would give a time. Like, the pro should be there, started, and start at this time, finish at this time. Hey, don't tell them what time I'm gonna finish. You don't know how fast or slow I work? And I didn't know how slow I worked. So I was like, man, nah, they tripping. This thing take longer than, no. They wouldn't. Now I will say, with the times that they had on there, I still don't think they factored in unboxing, because unboxing and setting up your workstation, that should be factored in or whatever. And it don't matter what tools you got, you're not speeding that up. If you're one person, it's gonna take you this long. You know, like I said, I'm not running around like Sonic when I'm working. I'm not slow poking and walking like a sloth either, but you know, just a regular work speed. So they don't factor it in. So I think if when I started, let's say I got there like 30 minutes early and they let me start 30 minutes early, that would be the time to get everything unboxed, and then I would know the truth how long it takes me to actually assemble. But anyway, like I said, those things should take me like 4 hours. And I know that one, I think it took me like 2.5, a little short of 3, maybe 2:45. So I was like, look at that. Look at that, I want some change off of there. I was slow. Okay, it was me. I just had to get better at it or whatever. So I'm a lot better now, whatever. So we had that job, and then we had that one. That was Wednesday. What else? I ain't coming in there. We had that one on Wednesday. That wasn't the only one. What's today is Wednesday. I didn't do anything last night. Did I do something Monday? I don't remember. I don't think so. No, I ain't do nothing Monday. So it was just that one. And then, like I said, on Saturday, I actually ended up having my very first client that I ever had. She reached out and wanted me to put some stuff together for her. And so I was like, of course, you know, like, it come full circle. So it was dope to go back and tell her, like, how great things have gone, you know. Really been, like I always say, this wasn't on my bingo card. And even when I did, okay, no, this is my bingo, it's exceeded expectations. You know what I mean? Like, this is really doing well. So, it was on patio chairs or whatever. Went, knocked those out. No issue. Very satisfied. Cool. I'm gonna get some more stuff. You got my number, just hit me. And if you know anybody else, they can hit me too. So that was great. Like I said, for it to all come full circle and just catch up and everything. So that was cool. I don't know what I got going on, but I've been tripping this last week. So, like I said, that job I had that Sunday so this was last week, so this would have been week 38 or whatever. That job that I did in South Carolina, in the country or whatever, paid me cash. Cool, come home, everything smooth. Stop right with my best friend now. Her pops pointing out, like, yo, there's some money by your foot. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking it'd be funny. I look down, I done dropped my money. If he didn't say nothing, that was gone. Cool, all right. My partner, Mac, Coach Cleddy, put me on somebody that needed, what was it? Some nightstands put together. Went and did those. Paid me cash. I lost that cash. All this in the span of a week. What in the world I got going on? Cherry on top, right? So Saturday, go down to my first client house or whatever, and it's great because 2 birds, 1 stone. She live in the same city as a little bit. I'm finna go see my girl. And I done made some money. Girl, go get something to eat. You want something from the store? So, finish the job. It's still daylight. Cool. Get there. Knock on the door. She open up. She, what you doing here? Girl, I'm here to see you. Come on. You want to go get something to eat or go to the store? She, yeah, okay. So we go to McDonald's. Everything smooth. Now, when I got the money, I stopped and got gas first. And I washed my car because my car just needed to be washed. I went through a little drive-through. I wasn't finna wash. I just finished working, whatever. So, went through the drive-through. Got my car washed. Smooth. You know, spent some money in the store. Got little snacks and stuff like that. Everything fine. Go get her. We go to McDonald's. Because I get McDonald's for the boys, at least dang near once a week, I use the app because you get free stuff, it accumulate points, stuff like that. It makes sense. If I'm gonna be spending money anyway, get the, you know, the perks and rewards. So, I sit down, I order a Happy Meal and all that. Cool. And when it come, I'm like, okay, I paid for it. The least you can do is get it. I'm like, hey, a little bit, go get the food. So she walk up there, the lady's like, hey, tell him to come here. I'm like, okay, what's going on? She's like, we ain't got no more lemonade. A little bit want lemonade. What else you want? Some kind of juice. I see, whatever. So she handed me the cup. If you was gonna hand me the cup anyway, why you tell me to come up here? You should have just gave her the cup and she could have brought it to me and we would have got the drink. Whatever. As I'm doing it, there were some teenagers in the restaurant that had been just being silly teenagers doing, making loud noises and doing silly stuff with a couple girls and a boy. So when I walk up there and get situated and I'm talking to the person at the front that's serving us, the boy take off running or whatever, like on some weird stuff.